in Indiana. I don't remember the exit, but this is the Flying J off of I-65 South, right before you go into Indianapolis, Indiana. I am 37 minutes away from where I deliver, but they don't deliver until the morning. It's about 5:45, 6 o'clock in the evening here. So, yeah, that's about it. I've been to this stop several times before, and usually it's difficult to get parking, but I guess not so much today because I got here early. So, the truckers walk here. Let's see. There's a variety of different trucks at all these stops. But this is what I deal with. I get, maybe that's not the right word. This is the procedure I go through a lot of the time while I'm walking back and forth from the fuel stop to the my truck. I've got coiled rod, and this is about the size of a thumb. That's how thick this rod is. It's all coiled up. And I had some issues when I was driving down the highway. The back end here came undone. I thought I had it down really well, but as you can see, I added several bungees to it. But I haven't had the opportunity to re-tuck in my the ends of my tarp, and it's just on the back. The front is fine, and but once I get a second here, I'll fix that so it looks pretty. But the interesting thing about this load is it's a straps only load. Other than the fact that they wanted me to tarp it, which was I thought was interesting, because my work assignment said no tarping required, which is typical for coiled rod in the summertime. There's no road salt. This is what they call green rod, which I guess that means it hasn't been processed in any way other than forming it into its rod shape and coiling it up. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. But I got back to my truck with the paperwork, and the paperwork on it said tarping all year around. By the shipping said tarping all year, yes. And then delivery, which I guess would be what the customer requires, is tarping yes all year. So not everybody wants their stuff to be tarped or requires it or pays for it, but I guess this company did. I had it all secured, went and got my paperwork, and that's when I noticed the discrepancy. And that's why it's important for you to check your paperwork at all times to make sure, one, you got the right load, the right paperwork, it's going to the right address, and you are securing it the way that they want you to. Because if you had a coil, like a sheet coil of just one 46,000 pound coil, and you loaded it eye to the side, or what we refer to as suicide, and they don't want it that way, or a shotgun where eye to the front or eye to the sky, or on a skidded coil, if they don't have the capability to unload that based on the way you secured it down, then you're going to be in trouble as far as trying to get that thing off. So it's always important to find out. Usually the shipper knows, based on the documentation, how they want this load secured. So this particular load was the same way, because they could have loaded all these coils shotgun with me backed into a dock, but luckily it was eye to the side, or what you call suicide, because it's a lot easier to load, it's quicker to secure, and it all goes together nicely for me because I've done it 100 million times. The only odd thing was all of a sudden, last moment, hey, I gotta tarp this, which was fine. It took me 20 minutes. And yeah, because the back end kicked up, because the bungees did not secure my tarp and came loose, which was strange because I had all kinds of bungees on this thing, but I guess the wind plays havoc. I had all of this right here, you can see. It's kind of a gap here. This was all secured, similar to, if you look at this, I try to get my bungees to pinch the tarp as it's coming down. Let me get it from this angle here. So it holds the tarp in place and then stretch it back up. Usually I go straight to the rub rail, but lately I've been doing basically the double D ring to get maximum pull on these bungees. And if you see, here's another example, pinching the tarp. This side's doing okay, but back here, because that came loose in the back, this, or what I think may have happened is this pinched area, when it was pinched, actually worked its way loose and ended up blowing out the back. I don't know, I'm guessing here. But either way, pulled over at one of my load checks because I saw it flapping in my mirrors when I was doing my mirror checks, and realized, I better go back here and fix it. It wasn't a big thing in the sense that it wasn't my tarp all over the place. I just noticed a little bit of flapping on this side and that side. So I pulled over, did a load check, and I went ahead and threw on more bungees. As you can see, on the other side was where the major problem was, because this bungee wasn't there, and obviously I added more to this to make sure that it stays tight. I've got a visitor. I don't know. He may have just recently tried to hijack my load and get a ride into some other state because he likes to hitchhike. But as you can see, the tarp is staying to the deck on this side, just not on the opposite side for some reason. And it could be the way I did it. You gotta remember, I've only been truck driving for, what, 2 years now? I in no way consider myself an expert. So, yeah. Though I think some people, yeah, I don't consider myself an expert. I think I'm experienced in doing certain things, but I'm not there's people that do this far better than I do. I'm in no way the spokesperson for how to do flatbed. I know there's some people out there that try to say they are, and it's funny to watch their videos, but I do this just to show you what I'm going through and what having to deal with, and things that I'm learning as I go. And I'm learning I didn't do a good enough job on this tarp on this side for this particular load, so I will have to make adjustments on the way that I do this in the future. So anyway, that is it for today. I'm done for today. I'm gonna get in my truck where the air conditioning is, because it's still, even though it is supposedly fall, it is, I don't know, 78 degrees, 80 degrees right now. I'll get in there, edit some video, watch a video. The place where I'm delivering does not open until 7 a.m. Let me get inside. It's amazing how loud it is at a truck stop. I think that there's somebody that just walked by, and I think they were lost. Because I think he was looking for his truck and couldn't find it. But you can tell that I love my truck because of how quiet it is when I get inside. It definitely reduces loud road noise. I have been suffering from allergies, fall allergies, and so is my family. It's kind of amazing in how strong it's come on, but you know, these plants, they think they got to take care of business before winter hits, so I put up with it. I used to take specific medications all summer long, but I stopped taking those, and I haven't had any problems all summer. In fact, I was like, wow, this is great. I was like, wow, this is great. So I'm taking less medication. And now, sorry, the dual camera mode only allows me 10 minutes. That also lets me know I'm talking too long. So I will, luckily, back to the subject of allergies really quick. Fall's really bad for me, apparently. And, but I'm putting up with it. It'll be over soon. A couple more months, it'll be winter. And if it stays like this for any length of time, then I'll go get some medication. But otherwise, it's all good. Another day in Indiana. That's what happens when you live this close to it. I spend a lot of time in this state. I don't know if that's a good thing.